Someone told me mushrooms are trending right now and that I should do things that are trending. Well, let me tell you, I love drawing mushrooms anytime, whether they're trending or not. I don't know why, especially these red ones here. They're beautiful. I think it's just the bright red color with the white spots on top. You can do so many ways. You can do them in so many ways with so many different mediums. I love my Prismacolors here, but I should have colored the base with markers and then went in with my Prismacolors for the shadows and highlights. But I really love these Prismacolor color erase pencils. They're so creamy. I love the texture of them when they touch the paper. So I went ahead and put my mushrooms in a scene here, a little scene of a fairy house with our Mr. Prince Charming here at the front of the picture, sitting on nothing less than a mushroom, of course. And I'm using a color erase pencil here, which I also love because they're fun to draw with, because you can go very, very light or very, very dark with the pencil. And sometimes if you want to leave an impression on the page and you want to clean up your drawing, you draw very, very dark and you erase and then you go over your lines because you can still see them. This composition was fun to draw. It's whimsical, it's playful. You know, a fairy house, a frog, mushrooms. Later on I draw a little bluebird in the forest. I love drawing twisted trees. And as I said, the color erase pencils are so nice to use. They were first introduced to me, as I've said, when I was in classical animation school. Here I brought the design into my iPad where I'm rendering it digitally first, and here I'll make all my mistakes and then I'll correct them later when I do the final rendering in traditional gouache medium. I might switch up the composition a little bit because although it's whimsical and fun, as I've said before, Barry says it doesn't have that triangle that most compositions should have, and I agree. I'm not so sure about a triangle, but I agree that the composition's not really that balanced, even though it was fun to do. I can improve it. I had a teacher when I was in illustration and design, and he used to always tell me, you can do better than that. And then my next drawing would be a winner. And I remember having so much fun with my work because of that, because he pushed me. I'm using a brush that I bought from a brush pack. It's a watercolor brush. It's called the Perfect Brush by Design Cuts. Again, I'm not affiliated with anyone, but I like this brush because it looks like wood grain, like little, you know, the way wood has that texture, and it just emulates that texture really well. And I guess the way I'm using it too. Voiceover Julie will come back later. In the meantime, just enjoy the music. As you can see, I have quite a few layers. I only use clipping masks when I really need to. Otherwise, I just try to stay within the boundaries of the object that I'm painting over, just to minimize the amount of layers that I have in my file. Usually what I'll do is I'll start with my base color for everything, and then I add shadows, and then highlights, and then the details on top, and then the highlights and shadows on the details on top. Like let's say I do the little white spots on a mushroom. First I'll render the mushroom, the red. I'll use a shadow and a highlight, And then I'll make the little dots in the highlight area to be bright and warm, and the dots in the shadow area will be cool. But I must admit, in this rendering, I was kind of all over the place. I didn't follow my own rules, but that's okay. Up here, his smile, and here comes the fun part. I copy paste the whole thing without the background, and I put the background back so you see what I'm doing, and I just take a whole paste of my drawing and play with the curves to punch it up a little bit. So that's what I'm doing there. And here I'm adding some highlights with my luminance brushes. They're brushes that come with Procreate. They're basically light brushes. They act like light. They have a glow, and there's different ones. There's lens flare, there's different luminance brushes that you can use. And I did 2 layers of luminance, and now I'm just punching up the ground, the grass. In traditional painting, like oil painting, I usually use a dry bristle brush with some white paint to do beams of light like that. Here we are. You made it to the end. I'm about to sign my name, and I'd like to thank you for watching.